Welcome to D&D UI Special Edition How To Podcast.
There, we finally got there.
Yeah.
We finally got there.
Today we're going to be talking about the classes in Dungeons & Dragons, what sort of jobs you can do, what sort of people you can play, what sort of roles you can fill.
Last episode was very racist. This episode's classist. What is a class?
A class is the set of abilities that you get to have in Dungeons & Dragons. It'll tell you what spells you can do, what sort of weapons you'll be able to wield, how strong you are going to be, how much hit points, and basically the structure of how you're going to fight.
Yeah, it'll give you special abilities, and it's almost like deciding your character's job.
Yeah.
Are they fast? Are they strong? Do they do magic? Do they know a lot about nature? Do they read a lot of books? This is what you're deciding when you pick your class. Let's just go through them from the top.
Sure, we'll give a little bit of description, maybe some of the subclasses or the different paths you can fine-tune yourself into.
Raph, what's a barbarian?
Don't have to start with the letter A.
No.
No?
Sure.
No.
A.
Yeah. Yeah, the class with A.
Accountant. Go.
Money, numbers, finance. Next.
Next. Done.
Barbarian.
Done. Barbarian.
Perfect. The Barbarian. He is a very strong fighter class. He has rage techniques and stuff. That is all I remember.
Good. So let's stop.
Sounds like
baseless conjecture of what you think it is.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what it actually is. So the Barbarian class is built around essentially being able to do a lot of damage and stay alive. The Barbarian class is pretty much one of the most clean, cut and dry classes. You are able to carry a big sword, swing it really hard, and your abilities revolve mainly around being able to overcharge your health and just hang in that fight and keep knocking people out. That sort of thing. That's what barbarians are really good at.
And they have special rage abilities, so when they go into this elevated rage mode, they get extra bonuses so they can attack maybe multiple people.
Like a berserker.
Exactly. Yeah. You get your aggro bar filled up, and then you go into Super Saiyan. Can we think of any barbarians maybe from popular media?
Conan the Barbarian. I mean, it's right there. Too obvious.
Too easy.
I was going to say Hulk.
The Hulk.
Yeah.
The Hulk's over.
Are we going to give an Avenger per...
We'll do our best. Maybe a comic book hero.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah,
Like that.
so definitely the Hulk is
What
the
about,
Barbarian.
the Thing. Not the Thing. The
Yeah,
Thing.
the
Yeah, the
Thing.
Thing. That's the Thing.
The Thing.
Yeah, the Thing.
The Thing's
How
the
about
thing.
The thing's a thing, right?
Yeah.
I just meant the Thing. I was like, the Thing, the superhero.
Yeah, the thingamajig.
Uh-huh.
What are some of the more specific options on your Barbarian?
Absolutely. So you get two choices, sort of paths.
At level 3 later on, you get to make a choice.
And they are Path of the Berserker. So that'll focus on absolutely going nuts and dealing crazy damage. And the other one is Path of the Totem Warrior, which you take an aspect of nature or of a beast, and you can have different abilities that key off of acting like a bear or acting like an eagle.
Yeah, so it's not just blind rage anymore. You can be a little clever, a little more roleplay. Bards.
Bard is the jack of all trades. They can do everything pretty well. They are the people who are going to boon your team and bust your other team, or
Nerf.
Nerf. Hey, that's a good one.
Not the other team, the enemy.
The enemy.
And it's flavored in the traditional text as essentially a singing magician. So it's all about songs and chants and rituals and things like that. And they do great things like cast heroism, so people get extra health and can not die for a little bit and not be scared. And then they can cast fear and stuff like that on the enemy party that are running away. The bards are really good. They're almost the opposite in Barbarian. The Barbarian is just strong and hardy, whereas the bard is really encouraged to be good at everything. They fight a little bit, cast a little bit, sing a little bit, jump a little bit. It's hard to pin a bard down because they're kind of fleety. They're good at everything.
And it all revolves around this idea of magic and music being combined, or sound.
Yeah.
So you can sing, you can play an instrument. I think you get 2 or 3 instruments right off the bat that you're proficient with, and that's how you channel the magic energy into your
They
attacks.
can also be court jesters a lot of the times.
Absolutely.
Comedians, actors.
I think the pop culture reference to a bard would be Jigglypuff.
Jigglypuff, yeah.
Jigglypuff
Or
is
the
fun.
Komodoof from Mad Max.
Mad Max. Okay.
Yeah.
From the new Mad Max.
Yeah,
Oh, the dude,
gentleman-
the
the
iron
guy on the
car
guitar.
guy. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
because he's booning all the car drivers
Excellent.
with his metal.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
he's giving them speed +2.
He's giving them metal boners.
Yeah, metal.
Yeah.
bonus.
And so the bards have two options. They have you pick a college at your 3rd level, and they have College of Valor, which is going to give you a little bit more staying power in the actual fight, and College of Lore, which is going to give you more intellectual and magical stuff.
And they have the College of Fine Arts, which will put you in debt. Thanks, man.
Thanks.
I actually really enjoyed that joke. But it hit too close to home for me to really laugh. Yeah, I was like, it's really good. but-
It was a subtle like,
yeah.
point. Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah, so bards tend to be jokey, jovial characters, and fun to have in the party.
More often than not, the face of the party.
Yeah, they're always stepping forward, especially when they shouldn't be, right? Clerics.
Rafts.
Raph,
I know all about those.
tell us about them.
Clerics are magical people.
Mm-hmm.
They have magical powers.
Yeah.
They're kind of like magicians. I would compare them to, let's say, who is that wizard? Morbid. No.
Morbid.
Morbid. Morbid. Morpheus. No.
Morpheus.
Morpheus the wizard.
Yeah.
So hold on, you're comparing a cleric
No,
to
Merlin.
a wizard
No,
in the
Merlin.
Matrix.
Yeah.
Merlin.
Merlin
Marilyn.
Monroe.
Marilyn.
Marilyn Monroe's.
Oh! Bravo. Age, what's a cleric really?
A cleric is a holy man.
Yeah.
He's a devout man or woman of the cloth, and sort of uses these divine powers to do good and heal people, and they're just the half of bard that deals with booning and nerfing. So they're almost completely about making sure the party is healthy and healed and free of poison and disease and on the good path.
If this was Final Fantasy, a cleric is your white mage, the one that casts haste, and the one that heals everybody, and the one that keeps everybody up. Unlike Final Fantasy, clerics are really useful and not frail at all, because clerics often carry heavy mauls and maces and can crack someone really hardly in the face. Clerics are really, really good fighters, actually.
Okay, Matrix. Who would be the
No.
Who would be the cleric of the Matrix?
Morpheus would be the cleric.
So, a good cleric from popular culture?
I mean the medic in any war movie.
All the medical team from all the Star Treks?
Yeah.
They're definitely clerics?
Dr. Dodgeball.
What?
You know when you play Dr. Dodgeball? Somebody's got to be the doctor.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's the
Yeah.
cleric.
When you play doctor with, your significant other.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know when you're like behind in the bedroom door and you're like, baby, let's play cleric. I'll be the cleric.
You're poking them in the belly button?
You be my POW and
Yeah.
I'll show you how pious I am.
Steamy.
Oh, yeah.
I'll cast a spell.
Magic missile, direct hit.
But clerics in D&D, a dwarf cleric, pretty
Very
hard.
strong.
Yep.
Very strong. Talking about slightly magic casters, druids.
Druids are going to be your shamany sort of attuned with nature, and the fey magic around them, sort of speaking with the animals and powers of earth and everything natural.
Yeah, so it's a lot of like being able to summon plants and speak to animals, and if you really want to be like one with the wilderness, this is the class that will let you do that. Oftentimes they're able to turn into animals themselves, and what sort of routes do they get?
So they get one called Circle of the Land, where they tune themselves to a particular terrain, and there are good bonuses in that terrain. So like, you have a particular affinity for the desert, and then you get to, tread across sand normally. And then there's Circle of the Moon that really focuses on that wild shape shifting aspect of the druid, where it's like, when you become that bear, you completely embody that bear, and you fight so much better as a bear.
Yeah, animorphs, good druids.
Isn't Beastmaster? No.
Beastmaster's probably a fighter druid.
Who changes into an animal?
Yeah.
No, Beastmaster only speaks to beasts.
Speaks to him.
Oh, fair.
Professor McGonagall.
Professor
There you
McGonagall.
go.
There you go.
McGonagall.
Absolutely,
Well
she
done,
is.
Yeah. Okay, next on the list. We've got fighters. Now, I have a particular affinity for fighters because a lot of people skip over fighters. They sort of treat it like, oh, it's just a boring class, right?
It's kind of straightforward.
It's pretty straightforward. Like, as the fighter, you're the guy with the sword, and you're pretty good at fighting. Now, they treat fighters a lot more like knights, and fighters don't always mean people with swords. It's essentially somebody who's just good at the martial kind of combat. So they're really good at swords, but they're also make really good archers. Anyone that's like just into martial combat is a good fighter, and they have really interesting subclasses because they have 3.
They have the champion doing as much focused martial damage as possible.
Yeah, so you're picking an enemy and you're just essentially duking it out with them. Just knock them down.
The second one, Battle Master, where you can use a bunch of different techniques,
Pushing.
using a bunch of different maneuvers, like tripping people over, rallying yourself, disarming, to sort of get the one-up on your opponent.
Yeah, and then they have one that's of the
Eldritch Knight.
Eldritch Knight that lets you cast a little bit of magic. So it's a good way to be a Spellblade if you're into that sort of build. Yes, Raph.
Who's Merlin's friend from the Round Table? Sir Lancelot or something?
Oh, yes, Lancelot would be a
Lancelot
fighter.
would be a fighter.
Exactly.
Leonidas
Leonidas would be a fighter.
Leonidas from 300?
from 300.
Street Fighter and all the characters.
No?
No.
That is incorrect.
There are probably more clerics in Street Fighter.
What all the Street Fighter characters are monks. Because they're all punching with their fists, they're all kicking, they're all super yoked, strong.
Super yoked,
Force
technical
of mind.
term.
Yep.
Yeah, super yoked. It says in there 1d4 of yoke. So, Raph, you actually know this one. What's a monk?
Does he?
Does he? Yeah. I hope. You know what? After 2 years, I really hope so.
Yeah, I would hope as well.
Yeah. Let's find out.
Hope springs eternal. But
Monks. Monks they follow a certain tradition, and they follow a certain religion, and they follow the traditions of that religion. Very simple.
Monks fight mainly with their fists.
Yes.
A monk, will
Monk is a
eschew.
combination of like a religious being, but also a defender and a fighter.
Yeah. So they don't wear armor. They don't use weapons. It's all about being.
Making your body your weapon.
Yeah. It's all about, blocking and punching with your fists. And monks will get things like a whole bunch of extra attacks, a whole bunch of extra movement, because it's all about darting in between your enemies, being able to trip, punch, push, and essentially dart back and forth between everyone during combat.
Where a fighter's going to direct most of their damage to one enemy, the monk's going to spread it amongst.
Yeah.
I was going to ask that. What is the difference between a fighter and a monk?
Exactly that.
I knew the answer. That's
You
why.
did.
right.
1d4 intelligence.
Yeah, exactly.
I think a monk would be someone like Bruce Lee. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Just uses his fists, uses his legs, can walk into a room full of like dozens of people and just maneuver through them.
And any Crouching Tiger or Hidden Dragon character.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jackie Chan.
Jackie Chan as well.
Jackie Chan would be a beautiful monk.
Yeah,
Yep.
Jackie Chan as well.
Yeah, he definitely took the improvised weapon feat.
Jet Li.
Pots, chairs.
Last year.
He also took the Do Your Own Stunts from
Yeah.
Lubareel.
Create your own insurance company.
Yep.
Yeah. So what 2 subclasses of monk are?
We've got 3.
3.
So the first one is going to be the Way of the Open Hand, which is essentially straight up, I've ground my knuckles into a
I
fine
punched
dust.
a rock for like
Yeah.
3 years.
Exactly. And now my body is just a lethal weapon.
Right.
Yeah.
As they say in the 80s movies. Then we have the Way of the Shadow, which you were, I would attuned more to maybe a ninja. Sort of like stealth and come out of the shadows and, break someone's neck.
Remo's fairly stealthy.
No, he's very devious.
Yeah, it's very devious. Devious and stealthy are quite different.
Yeah.
Kleptomaniac and hiding is very different.
And social phobia.
Yeah. Agoraphobia. Just
And the third one will be Way of the Elements, 4 elements. So it's someone who's, can shape fire and water and it where
airbenders.
I was just about to say
Yeah.
Well done.
CJ,
Yes.
I think you've
Next
taken
is
the floor
Paladin,
on
yeah.
anyone. Tell us what a paladin is.
Dan is a paladin, so he is somebody again who is.
You know that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know that.
I'm sure you guys are familiar not only with our podcast but our group of friends. They're pious as well, like just like clerics and monks. Correct me if I ever
Absolutely.
run astray. So they're pious, they're lawful good, they're sort of the do-gooders. So they have abilities to heal the party, they have abilities to boon the party. Not necessarily nerf the enemy that you're fighting, but they can definitely sort of cast a spell over everyone, and then you get +5 to critical hits or +2 to saving
They can
throws.
strike out a lot of damage when
They can choose to. Yeah, they can choose to really like sort of build up and do these combo breaker attacks where they can like do 10d8s of damage, like this ridiculous, laughable amount. And I think like just as far as storytelling goes, they have a natural tendency to rise to be like the head of
leaders,
right? The head of a campaign or a party.
Paladins are definitely the ones that are saying like, we're going out on this mission to spread the word of my god.
Almost like a missionary.
Yeah. Most Paladins are lawful good, but every Paladin picks a god, and they have to be the same alignment as that god. So there are such things as dark Paladins, where you can essentially be a votive to an evil god, and you can be like a black paladin spreading chaos if you want. If you're playing an evil campaign or something like that, you don't always have to be the do-gooder. But you just have to carry a big sword, wear lots of armor, and
rep your god.
That's a good way. Religiously intolerant. No.
It's like, you're listening to my god.
From Yu-Gi-Oh! The Dark Sorcerer.
Oh.
No, that would be a sorcerer.
Dark Mage? What is his name? What is his...
That would be a mage.
Yeah, that would be me.
A Dark Monk?
Oh, the Dark Paladin.
Dark Paladin.
No.
No,
Jesus.
it would be...
Jesus.
Jesus would be a paladin. Yeah. You know, like when Jesus yokes out in the temple, and he's like, that's a paladin move, right?
He's like just punching all the water.
He's like, gambling, not in my house. And he flips over the table.
Paladins, as a path, they take an oath. So they align themselves with a particular being. Some have an ancient god. Some devote themselves to spreading the word. Some devote themselves to... avenging. So literally obliterating any evil from the land. And those are the three sort of decisions you can choose to shape your paladin into.
Yeah, absolutely. Rangers.
Ranger class, which is something I have a relatively intimate knowledge of, playing a ranger in the main campaign. Rangers are ranged attackers. So basically, they're guys who are going to do a lot of damage from far away. They're most likely going to be using a crossbow or a bow and arrow, traditional. And I don't know, tend to be sort of glass cannon-y type characters as Sweetie is. So not a ton of hit points, my character being the exception. But they can do tons of damage from far away. Sometimes they even have like burst attacks.
There's two builds of Rangers.
Right.
The one that you picked is called the Hunter archetype, which is going to be a lot of, you're picking your mark, the thing that, like, giants, and you just are really good at killing giants and doing that.
You become a sniper.
Yeah, that's really what you become. The other kind of ranger is called the Beastmaster, and similar to a Druid, you're really in tune with nature, but more of like a hunter way. So you bind yourself with an animal, and you're able to use this animal to help you hunt. So if you bind yourself to a bear, all of a sudden this bear is mauling your enemies, and you essentially get another player. At higher levels, this creature is able to like move on its own, attack on its own during their turn. So you can use that for cool flanking techniques, for cool extra flavor like that.
It would be like Finn and Jake.
Reference.
It would be a lot like hunters from World of Warcraft.
Unaware?
What?
Unaware.
Yeah, I was a dwarven hunter.
Okay.
It's tight.
Or as
you get to have a beast companion, and he goes and attacks somebody while you shoot him from the back. Team up.
The noble
Yeah,
approach.
or what a lot of people are doing, they're being very small characters, and they ride bears. They like ride big characters.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so cool. What was it? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? His little brain was like inside the guy's belly.
Krang.
Krang is a beastmaster.
Master Blaster is a Beastmaster.
Master Blaster's death. Master Blaster's a beastmaster for sure.
Perfect.
Just because I don't want to gloss over Raph's pop culture reference, because we've been doing them for every character. When we described the Ranger as a sniper, Raph said, aptly, like the sniper from the movie Sniper. Not American Sniper. No.
Not behind enemy lines.
No. From the movie Sniper starring Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
A la like 2007.
Exactly, the original.
Yeah. Classic.
Make sure you go to the original one.
Yeah, not the reboot.
No.
Didn't do it justice.
After that, we're getting a little more clandestine, a little more cloak and dagger with the rogue class. So if we've talked about classes that focus on strength and being rugged and casting magic, rogue is really the class that's going to be sneaking around, trying not to be seen, and rogues get the main draw to it is that they get an attack called Sneak Attack, where they're able to deal a crazy amount of damage on a particular strike. So rogues really are the sort of ninja assassin that will drop down, kill a guy in one hit, and hopefully disappear back away into the shadows.
Right. Not to be confused with Rogue from X-Men. Who's not like that whatsoever.
Not a rogue.
No.
So we're talking more like Ninja Gaiden.
Ninja Gaiden, I mean Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed
Yeah,
would be a very good
Altair,
rogue.
Aeon Flux.
Aeon Flux? No, because she could just she could stick in a room and just like.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
She would be a monk.
She would be a monk.
What about the guy with the cards?
Gambit.
Gambit?
He's not a rogue.
No, he's not a rogue.
Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler's a rogue.
Nightcrawler's a rogue.
That's what I was talking
So there are two types of rogues, and they're really essentially branch quite differently. There's one which is the assassin, so we're talking Altair, we're talking things like that. And then the other one's called
There's a thief.
The thief, yeah. So now it's just literally like you're a sort of sleight of hand trickery, sort of con artist.
Cat burglar.
Cat burglar.
Cat burglar. Catwoman? Not Catwoman.
Aladdin?
Catwoman.
Catwoman?
Aladdin?
What's the raccoon from PS2?
Sly Cooper.
Sly Cooper. Yeah, so
The sniper from Sniper.
Sniper.
not a thief.
No.
Oh, he's just taking people's lives.
The thief from the game Thief.
The
Thief from the game Thief.
There's a B movie probably named after
yeah.
everyone. The Rogue from Rogue.
I would love to watch the movie Bard.
Bart from Bart.
And just as how Fighter has an archetype that dips a little bit into magic, Rogue has the Arcane Trickster, where you use little magic cantrips and stuff to beguile people while you are sneaking up on them.
Yeah, probably like gestury, kind of like.
It's like, here's a flash of light so I can stab you in the butt.
Jubilee in the...
Jubilee is a great arcane trickster.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next up on the list.
Raf's gonna
No. Age gets the.
Perhaps I'll let him have the next one.
Okay. A bit more difficult.
So we're talking about sorcerers. So there are three main...
He's stress scratching already.
Overheating, overclock. There are three main arcane classes in Dungeons & Dragons. So like three main magic using classes. We have the Sorcerer, the Warlock, and the Wizard.
Right.
So the first one is the Sorcerer. And they're the people who are born with an innate ability to use magic. So every level they get a certain amount of spells. Those are the only spells they have, but they can shape them and expand them and use them in really specific cases and expertly.
Yeah, so they can sort of bend magic to their will, use it in interesting ways, shape it, make it stronger.
Yeah, they're like a magic prodigy.
Yeah, and though you get to cast like less number of times, but you don't have to worry about like components or spell books or anything like that. Spells sort of just come out of you.
Sorcerers, there are two kinds of sorcerers. There are two kinds of sorcerers. There's one that has a draconic bloodline, so sort of like this magic is in you because you have some sort of draconic ancestry. And dragons in D&D are pretty magical creatures. So that's where you're getting your power from. And the other one is wild magic, so you've pulled it somehow from the bowels of the earth itself. But it's sort of too powerful for you, and you can't always control it. So there are times where when you roll a dice and you don't do as well as you thought you would, something weird's going to happen.
Could be good, could be bad.
Could be
something
bad.
weird's gonna happen.
Yeah, something
And that's the
weird.
sorcerer I play, and I find it pretty entertaining to just have things go
You
wild.
turned into 4 metal sheep one time?
Yeah, I
It
was
is.
just gonna reference that. That was so
Yeah.
great. So great.
It was a good time.
I think one was multicolored as well.
Okay.
Oh, then you killed off two?
No, they started drinking poison?
Oh yes,
Yeah.
they were just
It got weird. It got weird.
bleeding and exploding.
Oh, do we have some pop
Sorcerer
culture
key.
references of
Hold on.
sorcerers?
Sorcerer's keys off charisma. So if you're looking for a class that's really charismatic, sorcerers are your guys.
As do bards.
Yes, as do bards. So
In pop culture, Raph, give us the sorcerer.
A sorcerer.
Nicolas Cage in The Sorcerer's Apprentice. Merlin Monroe.
Merlin in robes.
Merlin Monroe.
Exactly. True.
A lot of X-Men.
Are sorcerers?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they're sort of
Yeah.
just born with that power. And then Jean Grey, because like her powers go like too crazy and too strong for her, and then she goes all.
She would be. That'd be Phoenix. That wouldn't be Jean Grey.
Emperor
Right,
Palpatine.
like Jean Grey.
No, we got to be pedantic on this podcast.
Bending tree in
Yes.
the third world.
Emperor Palpatine.
Yeah. I guess that does work.
Born with an innate sense of the Force.
Jedis.
I guess, yeah. I
Jedis
suppose
are
so.
sorcerers.
I want to say it's learned, but it's not so much learned as awoken.
If you go according to the first three,
Yes.
it is they're more like wizards. If you go according to the number 1, 2, 3, which nobody likes.
With the, what is it, midichlorians?
Yeah, with the midichlorians, they're sorcerers, but that's stupid, and nobody likes that anyways.
Oh.
So, let's flip over to warlocks.
Raph didn't give us one example of a sorcerer. He's been thinking this whole time.
He hasn't been thinking this whole time.
Sorcerer's Apprentice, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
The one I said.
Yeah.
100%.
whatever's going on in that camera right there. There's probably little sorcerers in there recording us. Thank you, men.
Little gnomes.
My favorite class.
Warlocks.
Raph,
Warlocks. Yes. The Warlocks are a form of magic people.
Yeah.
They have a big stick. Some do, some don't. I'm picturing a Warlock to be like a very...
I'm trying to.
knowing that...
Age. What's a warlock?
Warlock people who have made a deal with someone who has a great amount of magical prowess in order to channel some of the magic through them.
Oh, Robert Johnson.
What?
Robert Johnson went down to the crossroads, made a deal with the devil.
Yeah. So Crossroads is about a warlock. Guitar warlock.
Guitar warlock.
Oh my god.
A guitar warlock bard.
Oh my god.
We gotta make this character.
My new build. Hashtag my new build.
So yeah, they have made a pact with a demon, or a god, or some kind of spirit. It could be like a benevolent, or it could be, sometimes scary, spooky, malevolent. Thank you. And they're receiving their magic from that. So warlocks tend to be the better of the three magic casters in just straight up like hand-to-hand fighting, because the power that we're receiving has a lot to do with changing their bodies. So their spells are enhancing their sight, or making magic come out of their hand, or helping to change the form, making them jump high. So they're literally using the magic to morph themselves. So Venom from Batman, a really
Nicolas
good
Cage.
warlock.
Nicolas Cage in...
The Warlock's Apprentice.
Oh, the biker guy.
Ghost Rider.
Ghost
Rider.
Ghost Rider.
Oh, Tom Cruise in Warlock of the Worlds. I'll see myself out. I'm not
And I think that finally brings us to the last...
Well, let's talk about the
pacts.
choices you get to make.
Right.
So there are sort of two choices you get to make as a warlock: who you get your magic from, and the deal you make.
I'm sorry, I think we should have ended on Warlock of the
Oh,
World.
no,
Just a high point. I can't
I'll
take
edit it so
any
we before Warlock of the World. Okay. So you get two choices: the person you make a deal with to get your magic, and the deal that you make.
Right.
So the people you can make it with is like an arch god, a evil god, a great old spirit, and then on the other hand, the pacts you get to make is like me and a little familiar have this magic bond. Me and this magical blade have a bond, and me and this spellbook have a bond. Yeah,
That's super cool.
And they all affect the way that you fight and interact.
Now, let's go to the last one. Finally, this one's straightforward. This is the wizard. So the wizard is the most straightforward of the spellcasters. It is this guy little right here, sitting reading a book with a dragon friend. It's the person that's just read a lot of books, studied a lot of magic. Primary thing is their intelligence. Now wizards know the most number of spells and can cast the most spells per day. That being said, they can't really do much in terms of like shaping or changing or modifying the spells. And they're not really good fighters. They are very much the glass cannon of the magic casters.
They'll be squishy people.
Very squishy.
Yes.
I think of all the classes, they have the least amount of health.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
But that being said, as long as if they're like hanging back way down the tunnel and just like sniping with magic, very very effective.
Isn't that Roman candles from down
Yeah. If you
people in the eye?
magic missile, magic missile.
1d4 damage.
If you keep your wizard alive, it is your greatest asset. A lot of games struggle with keeping wizards balanced in the long term because they start off kind of...
OP. And then...
No, they start off kind of lame.
Right.
And then by the end, they're just destroying everything because they get like things that are just like null all magic and just destroy a town. They're just absolutely OP.
Has that been amended in 5th ed?
Sort of.
It has.
Mhm.
I mean, there are sort of at your end game there are spells that are like erase the last minute.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yes. Wizards get really strong.
And there's a reason why many movies are let's go fight the battled wizard.
Right.
Because they gotten the super crazy.
Yeah.
Doing this episode makes me want to like just drop
Play
the
other
characters.
games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Just make characters.
make
Right?
other characters
Yeah.
and play them right. Yeah. Fucking awesome.
Harry Potter would be a wizard.
Harry Potter would be a wizard.
No.
Oh, only in the first
Harry
one.
Potter would be a wizard. What are you talking about?
Well, but not by these definitions, because this is like a muggle who studied and learned.
In this sort of lore.
In this lore, he
Yeah.
would be more of a sorcerer
Mm.
because it was in him.
True.
Uh,
I guess.
I was doing that on purpose.
It was a test.
You
The test.
inciting
The test.
inciting some
you guys all failed. Except for
discussion.
CJ. Where'd it go, CJ?
Wizard would be like the kids from who played the video game in the movie The Wiz.
I don't know
The
that.
Wizard. The Wiz.
Pinball wizard.
Damn it. Anyways, what are the paths that you can take with a wizard?
So the school that the wizard gets to study from, like almost a course load.
Yeah.
So magic is this varied,
Do you want to
vast-
study philosophy? Do you want to
Yeah.
study film? Do you want to study?
So there are particular strands of magic that you get to be specifically good at. So there is abjuration,
Early childhood magic,
yeah, kinesiology magic.
which our wizard does.
Yeah, our wizard, engineering wizard.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
There is abjuration, which blocks and protects. Conjuration, which summons things. Divination, which is calling from the gods.
Future sight. And
Absolutely. Enchantment, which is blessing things.
make it stronger.
Evocation, which is spouting flame. Illusion, hiding things, masking things.
Making things appear.
Necromancy, bringing things back from the dead. Transmutation, changing things, shaping them, melting them.
Yeah, that's it.
I believe so.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So that was our very hopefully introductory podcast on classes.
Mm-hmm.
We hope that you have at least had a chance to think about which one sounded the most appealing to you.
The ones we've talked about are the ones that are included in the player's handbook. There have been other ones added, like an artificer, which uses mechanical things to add.
An artificer is actually a sub thing for warlocks.
Yes, wizards.
Wizards.
Yeah. There have been other archetypes put into these main 12, I think.
Yeah. In the D&D, the rule set is always growing and changing, but these are the ones that you're going to find in the basic PDF.
Basic PDF.
The basic PDF.
Guys, we're
That's-
so future. This is.
You know
a
when you
PDF.
just print out a PDF and buy
Yeah.
it?
Oh yeah, you know that
that's
little thing with hardcover PDFs.
Yeah, hardcover PDF, softcover PDF.
That was hard to get out of a printer.
Yeah.
It just
3D
spit it out. So much ink. You used so much ink.
3D printed them.
Now, please
Habloom.
click on the link and enjoy playing D&D.
Habloom.
The link, click the link, click the link, click the link, it's over here. Click the link, we click the link, and now we learn to play D&D.